What's going on, guys? Hope everyone is doing well on this blessed Wednesday. Today we have a special video for you guys titled Like It, Love It, or Hate It. Basically the format, guys, we're going to go through a hot list of several topics in the NFL and NBA. And basically after each topic I'll give my take, and we'll basically go ahead and say whether we like it, love it, or hate it. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and get started. Let's go. The NFL season, guys, is it going to start normally as we want it to? According to a recent post from CBS Sports, the NFL is preparing to launch their next season on time. No delays, no postponing anything, guys. The new NFL with the new regular season CBA rules begins September 10th, guys. That is the first week of the regular season. Now, they haven't said much about preseason as far, but as regular season goes, September 10th. Now, do we like that? Do we hate it? Or do we love it, guys? Now, listen. I like it, and it's simply because how the NFL is choosing to handle this. They've done their first virtual draft, they've handled free agency and parts of the offseason already. The NFL is one of the first major sports leagues currently adapting to COVID-19 and still doing live stuff like the draft and free agency, and the players and staff alike all seem to be preparing ahead for this upcoming season. And as a fan of the sport, you like to see that. You like to see them moving in that direction, even if the season may get postponed or not happen. Who knows? But I think other sports, assuming Corona clears up like we hope, can follow the NFL as a model. Now, we do have some NFL news I'd like to talk about. We have a couple backup quarterbacks, a couple of situations there I want to address. The Cowboys have just got Andy Dalton. They signed him to a one-year deal as the backup for Dak Prescott. A lot of people and NFL aficionados, they're kind of talking about, what type of role will Andy Dalton play for the Cowboys? I think this one, it's right on the money, guys. We already know that he's going to be a backup. He's not going to challenge Dak Prescott for his job. There's no situation like that I think that the Cowboys are going to have to go through with this Andy Dalton signing. I think that if you look at all the great teams in the league and teams that have won Super Bowls, championships, all those sort of type of accolades, they've had a decent or good enough backup quarterback on that roster. And you've seen teams that haven't reached that same success, even just a couple seasons ago, or not seasons ago, but just last season with Carson Wentz, when you saw him go down in the Seattle playoff game. McCown comes in, you got a 40-year-old quarterback coming in as your backup. Is he really going to get you over the hump? Do you want a guy like Jalen Hurts, who's young, ready to go, prime, or do you want a guy like, I don't know, like McCown, and I think that is a difference there. There's a skill gap there. I think there's a skill potential there. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that the Andy Dalton signing isn't something that Jerry Jones and the GM and the staff alike can use as leverage. That's all the business side of the NFL. I think ultimately what but the Dallas Cowboys will do is they'll take Andy Dalton, they'll have him be a backup. They've seen what happens when, the starting quarterbacks go down. We've seen what happens, when Nick Foles comes in and resurrects the Eagles' playoffs hopes and wins them a championship. We've seen what happens when teams don't have a really good backup quarterback, and they have maybe a well-rounded team and they can't really amount to much. So I think the Andy Dalton signing is a good signing. I don't think it's going to mean much towards Dak Prescott's job or contract or anything like that. Now, I'm not going to lie, guys. This, the Jalen Hurts and the Carson Wentz situation, it was a tough one for me to digest. I'm a little stuck on the fence with this move by the Eagles. I can see both sides, and I kind of, addressed that earlier in my take with the Andy Dalton, Dak Prescott situation, right? I'm going to say for now, I like it. I can see both sides and that it was a good and a bad pick. I can tolerate it because, I'm a Cowboys fan, right? Whether it turns out well or not, we hope for the worst, right? For our division rivals. But, I heard Max Kellerman say that the Eagles spent a second-round pick on a gadget player. And, I couldn't stop laughing because, our division rivals spent a second-round pick on a QB when they could have, addressed other holes. I get it. But the point is, look, Hurts is going to back up Wentz, who has been a bit injury-prone as of recent. He gives the Eagles a young QB who is versatile, who isn't going to be paid much more or less than the average backup QB anyway. The other upside is that if Wentz does get hurt, you don't have a 40-year-old McCown, as I recently said, coming out. I wish the best for him, but you'll have a young guy come in with something to prove. I think that's a better premium there. This isn't the same situation as Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love. They expect Love to replace Rodgers in a few years. You can kind of see that. I don't think anyone expects Hurts to replace Wentz in the near future. So I like the move, but time will tell if it actually works out. You never know. Okay, so according to ESPN, and later confirmed by Michael Irvin via First Take, Cowboys' newly drafted wide receiver CeeDee Lamb will wear jersey number 88. Now, guys, do I really care about the jersey number he wears? No. I just want him to ball. I was okay with him wearing number 10. That's what I thought the number he wanted to wear. But if Jerry and the crew wants him to wear number 88 and he's cool with it, in continuing the lineage or a legacy of great wideouts and True Pearson, Michael Irvin, Des Bryant, he's been great. He's not legendary, but he was good for us, definitely. So do I like it, hate it, or love it? I say I like it, guys. I just want the team to ball. I want CeeDee Lamb to ball, and if he feels comfortable in that 88 jersey, that's all right here as well. Okay, guys, so we're gonna switch gears a little bit. We're gonna talk a little bit about the NBA season now, guys. When is that scheduled to return? According to a CNBC article press release, guys, the NBA season could return sometime in June, possibly, but in doing so, that would push the next season into December. Now, guys, I'm not sure how they are going to go about this. If it happens, I think most of this is wishful thinking. I see the best scenario is the season gets resumed, no fans in attendance, no fans in the arena. I think ESPN, they also did a study recently where they showed that most NBA fans would rather have the season resumed with no arena fans present than have the season resumed at a way later date. Now, like I said earlier, this is no confirmed date. It's just an estimate around mid or late June that the season will be resumed. And then, of course, the 2020-21 season will be started in December. So, that's kind of the drawback there. I think personally, guys, I love that idea. I would love to finally tune into some live basketball again. Regardless if fans can attend, I think fans, you shouldn't even want to attend right now anyways. But maybe inviting over a close friend or two, or just chilling with your family watching the NBA playoffs. That's a move for sure, definitely, guys. One of the main topics I wanted to address, guys, was the Michael Jordan Last Dance. So do we like it, hate it, or love it? Guys, I love it. I love the series so far. I think for any sports fan, old or young, new gen or old gen, it gives you something to watch. When there ain't really much to watch, right? That's the first point I have on it. But being able to see the esoteric Michael Jordan and all his human factors, right? The gambling in Vegas, the funny Dennis Rodman moments, and just the team coming together to take on teams like the Bad Boy Pistons. It played towards the morality of Michael Jordan, how we can understand him away from basketball, and also his interactions with basketball, with players like Isaiah Thomas and staff like Jerry Krause. I think it's always pretty cool to get that perspective, especially with the greatest basketball player of all time. If you haven't seen any of it yet, guys, please check it out. Definitely some great stuff there. So that brings up the last topic, and I know this is more of a debate topic, guys, but it's a topic I want to introduce. It's been something prevalent, what I've been hearing around my colleagues and friends. Who is the GOAT of this generation? And I mean 2000s and up for NBA and NFL. So we'll be picking two GOATs, guys, one for the NFL, one for the NBA. So let's make this interesting. You can pick only one player for each sport, as I've said. So for the NFL, we've all been thinking Tom Brady, right? That's the closest that we can get to the GOAT for the NFL. All his success, everything that he's resembled, he's the closest thing to the NFL GOAT as you'll get. Now for NBA, if we're keeping it to my rules of 2000s and up, right? Who have we seen be the GOAT, right? I'm talking about, I'm 21 years old, guys. I'm going on 22. I didn't watch Michael Jordan play, right? We didn't see live Michael Jordan play. We didn't get to see that beast that he was. You know what I'm saying? He's not my savior, right? He's not the person that I see go up and tomahawk through the lane. I've seen highlights of Michael Jordan for sure. He's definitely the GOAT of all time to me in this instance of, if we take back, not just 2000s and up, Michael Jordan is the GOAT of all time. I think that he's been the first guy that we've seen that's been able to just go out there and dominate on the level that we've seen LeBron dominate on, and obviously Jordan has dominated on a bigger scale. He was the first guy to really get the shoe deal and do a lot away from basketball, in the sense that you're winning rings, like you're winning 6-5 different rings, you know what I'm saying, and you're impacting the world of basketball in that way. That's opened doors for guys like LeBron, opened doors for guys like Carmelo Anthony and Dwayne Wade and so on. Those guys who are really a premier talent that are winning championships. Well, maybe not Carmelo, right? But have that premier talent and are kind of doing something that Jordan has already done. Jordan has built that platform for, I think, a lot of, NBA players to kind of go and chase and model off of. But I think that LeBron, for us, right, he's been the guy that we've seen in our faces and in our generation, right? I'm talking about millennials. If you're a millennial, you shouldn't say Jordan is your GOAT. And I say that because You didn't see him play. You didn't get to see, you didn't watch any of that. That wasn't your live. Our prime and our live experiences with LeBron James. And even though his finals record isn't the best, it's not the greatest. LeBron James, we've seen this man go out there and build schools. We've seen this man go out there and take over the face as ESPN. We've seen him do so many things and dominate, not only on the field, on the court and off the court, the same way we see Michael Jordan do. But Michael Jordan was the first. I really feel like the first dude to really go out there and to win all these championships, all these rings. I'm not talking about Bill Russell, guys. You know, he's won rings as well. But I'm talking about in a league where it was competitive, fierce competition, and you know, he had to go out there and, as Stephen A. Smith says, snatch people's hearts, go out there and take it away from people and be Michael Jordan, be MJ. Now, if you're a millennial and you don't say LeBron isn't your GOAT, though, I have a real big issue with that. You know, I feel like, you know, if you say Kobe, I'll let that slide. You know, rest in peace. I get it. Kobe, he's right there. But I think that you have to recognize LeBron as being the GOAT for our generation. He's the dude we saw. I compare it to even kind of rap, you know, with hip hop. Tupac and Biggie, and I'll even throw Nas in there. Those are like the best rappers, the best music artists in terms of rap and hip hop, right? Of all time. But I wasn't alive when Tupac was going crazy. You know what I mean? Doing his prime stuff. I wasn't really living through Biggie doing his thing. Now, that doesn't mean that those guys haven't influenced, you know, where, you know, my mind and the way I think. But I think the preposition there is that throughout my prime, and what I'm listening to, the guy who comes to mind is Drake. For 10 plus years on, we've seen Drake last for from 2000s and up to 2020, for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Drake has been that dude, and maybe not the whole 20 years, right? You know, he really got popping 07, 08, but that's been his run. That's his run. Jordan's prime was back in the 90s and late 80s. That's Jordan, right? LeBron, this is LeBron's time. So I think that when you're recognizing who is the GOAT, you kind of have to look at it certain ways, right? People say if you throw Michael Jordan in this era, he's averaging 50 or 60 or 40. You know what I'm saying? It could be that he really does that, but I think that you have to look at it this way. We're living through a whole different prime with LeBron, and Michael Jordan faced the bad boy Pistons. He faced his fair share of guys. I don't think you can put MJ on that 2015 Cavs team where Kevin Love was hurt, Kyrie's getting back massages on and off the court because, you know, he's banged up. It's literally LeBron versus KD, Curry, Clay, Draymond. I mean, you already know what it is. So I think if you swap the roles, reverse the roles, right, as everybody likes to say, and you throw MJ on that Cavs team with guys like Channing Frye and Kyle Korver, MJ ain't beating that Warriors team. I'm sorry, he's not. This is how it is. It's how it's got to be, guys. So with that being said, this is the end of the video. Please like and comment and subscribe, guys. Please let me know in the comment section below who are your two GOATs are, NFL and NBA. I know I might see a lot of Tom Brady's. We might even see, you know, some favorite players. You know, if we see Derrick Rose, Carmelo, you know, Barry Sanders, Gale Sayers, anybody like that, Calvin Johnson. There's a lot of great players in the leagues, guys. Just leave who you guys think might be your GOATs or your favorite players. And also, if you like or love or hate the take, or if you have your own take, we'll love to hear it. So I'll sign you guys off there. Have a great Wednesday and stay blessed, guys.